coffee? Hi everybody, how is everybody? Let me see who is here in the morning with me. I was like sleeping in and feel so refreshed right now. When I started this, like Brooke is in Spain. Edgar Allan Poe, Sandy, Nanny, Veronica, Cassie, hello. Who else is here? Amit. Oh, Sandy was like here, the very first one. Camilla, Kalima, Keisha. Hello everybody, guys. Yes, thanks Brooke for your help. So let's give it a few more minutes to do it. So Virgo Venus. So I think today I think it's technically tomorrow. Oh, Australia, Sharon. Hello, Safi. Can you say hi to everybody? A little bigger, like a little bit more enthusiastic hi. That's better. Evening, so that's Europe, right? Like I mean 5 p.m. like here, trust me, not many people understand what the hell you're talking about when you put 17. So we kind of like have a really weird way of denoting time. So since I think Libra starts tomorrow and I did manage to get majority of my monthlies before the start, good morning, I'm going to start with basically air. And you put your, I just cleaned the table. So how did you manage to do this? So anyway, she has to put her 2 cents. And even with these cards, she did spill the water over it. So they are kind of like a little bit wobbly, but I hope that's not going to get in the way. As you can see, she kind of like did a number on that as well. So yeah, Safi's butt. She just really likes to do it. Hi, Dean. So good to see you. Hi, everybody. So which one do you go with for the main reading? Let's go with this one. Okay, air. Hi, Silly Jane. How are you? Air. Let's go. Air for the upcoming week. Air. Oh, who is choosing? Well, it was supposed to be Lati and she's still not here. It could be her internet connection, so I'm going to give her a few more minutes, so hopefully she's going to be here. Okay, air, crown chakra, and change your focus. Air is going to do lots of contemplation. Crown chakra is absolutely awesome. Hi, Sally. That's kind of like that, kind of like God's chakra over here. Oh, Brooke, very, very nice. And good morning from California. Oh, look at this. We have unicorn, unruly, unruly unicorn. Is that something like this? I love this prop of mine. It was like just too much money for it, right? So this kind of like really tells me that top chakra opening, it's very important, because that's kind of like the essence of kind of like almost like food for an air sign. Something is happening that we can actually really kind of realize the direction and why we are going, how we are getting there, right? So it's kind of like really, really, really interesting to kind of go in this direction. Change your focus. It's exactly like that. Some ideas are going to kind of like show up and maybe show that maybe something is stale, because look at this, kind of like it was just the immediate but not the distance, and now this is absolutely extending. It's kind of like really, really lovely. So let's see. It's nice to see more people to the party. Absolutely lovely. Where is my Lati? If Lati doesn't show up, I'll have to put somebody else in charge. So let's see. Let's see. Give me a couple of more for air. For air. For air. For air. Okay. Seek the truth. Interestingly, it is actually reversed. So seek the truth. Look at that. She's kind of like really looking for that crown chakra opening over here, but I think there is like something that is still blocking. So that looks like it's going to be something we really, really need to work on. So Brooke, can you take over? It looks like Lati might have the problems connecting today. Can you be the moderator who is going to give a free reading? Because the last time I wanted you and then I relegated back to Lati. So it will be you. So seek the truth, guys. More or less this kind of like really tells me there is like something happening on the outside. But I really think the truth will be found inside this particular time. Because, hello, you're showing your butt over here. You're showing your butt. You can't do this. Yes, this is not decent. This is not decent. This is a mess. This reading is a mess with Safi. With Safi, can you sit down here? Can you please sit down? Can you please sit down? Please. Virgo is Earth. So currently, Brooke, thank you for clarifying. Air element covers Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This is usually the highest element. And guys, when I ask, let's vote, like the air is the one that's going to jump and say, just do air, do air, do air, because of kind of like really, really fast and swift response. So let's just get one more for air. I know, kitty cat is just absolutely. Hey, you're getting your own reading. Look at that. Look at that. So some blockages need to be cleared, but like everywhere is showing up with this crown chakra. Crown chakra is connecting with ability to lead, with ability of expressing higher ideas, with kind of like that universal, let's say, God and spirit power. I really feel air will be getting lots of messages from the universe and also be able to channel. There is going to be something that might get in a way, but this kind of like, to me, more or less comes like an aha moment. That's what I said, something coming from the inside, because look at this. We have like these two sevens, very spiritual week. It's going to be sort of like the understanding that maybe we are doing things a certain way and we should maybe do them completely different way and make it easier and make it more productive at the same time. Well, thank you, Celie. Is Barbie here? Oh, I don't know if she showed up here as well. So let's start with Libra. First of all, happy birthday, Libra. I'm glad to see that your season is coming tomorrow. Libra, can you give me some info for Libra? Oops, this one flicked, but came back. There you go, victory. It's my time. It's my time, kind of a thing. Okay, Libra. So So see, Casey, like that's exactly what will be happening. You will be getting those messages. Like sometimes they're numbers because everything is digital, but sometimes could be just a little bit pennies and coins in places that you know you have cleaned and they're just like there. Because I think that's how the communication basically happens, that somebody's notifying, hey, I'm here. Or you will drop something, and when you drop it, you'll see something else is going to kind of like start thinking you, making you think in a different direction. So that's what's going to happen, right? Okay, so let's see. Libra, what else? Libra, you're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel victorious. You're going to feel, hey, everybody's looking at you. You're going to try to make yourself look gorgeous and amazing. So that's going to be like really, really awesome. Okay. Now look at this, 5 and 6, and guess what? 5 and 6 is 11, and 11 is basically the card of justice, which is basically representing you. So you're like definitely rebalancing. You are kind of like exercising your strength and kind of like showing, well, I would not say dominance, kind of like setting your say, saying what you want, how you want to have it done, what you want to have it done. So it's actually really, really good. And I think Brooke is going to tell me, which I forgot to prepare, to bring my angel cards. So let me see what are spirit messages showing up for you. And something just jumped. Celebration, of course. Happy birthday to you. This is ridiculous. Balance. Hello, you're a Libra. Of course, you're kind of coming in balance. But there is like also commitment. Now, that's interesting that we have the commitment over here. Even though it's not showing with another person, it's showing towards some kind of task. And that can actually show here. I don't know, guys, if you're looking for a new job or there's like something happening in the work, you will kind of maybe be pushed in a direction that you're not going to like. So you need to kind of like have this dance of push and pull, kind of like reaching this balance where you kind of like still get something accomplished. It's kind of like that proverbial compromise that kind of like really, really needs to happen here. So it's really good. Libra, you're going to really start your season with a big bang. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. So what happened, Dean? Didn't check. I'm just seeing sorry for your loss over here. I didn't see it. Let me see. Because guys, you have to be aware that I don't see most of the stuff. So if you really want me to see something, you need to appeal to my moderators, and they're going to keep harping at me until I see it, because I look at this way and the screen is that way. Woke up and seemingly for no reason got a call later. Oh my gosh, so sorry to hear that, Dean. But maybe it's best for her, right? This is kind of like old age, that is kind of like not easy to kind of like go through it. So you kind of like felt the spirit, I guess, in the air. That's for sure. High Temperance rising. Nice to see you. There are birthday parties today. Okay, awesome. So she is a cusp. So let's go for Aquarius. Aquarius, Queen of Wands. Aquarians are going to feel energized. Aquarius, and by the way, guys, like some people kind of like left a comment, oh Kat, you're putting too much of your energy in the reading and hence the readings are sad. Well, let me tell you, actually these readings most of the time do not resonate with me, and the reason why they don't resonate is because I actually don't have a love life right now. I am sort of a hermit who is completely dedicated to kind of like getting my act together, trying to figure out where do I need to go spiritually, and in the meantime trying to help to as many people as possible. So my life is actually in full balance. And I kind of like really am getting very selfish, and just that's why I want to keep it. So no, when I see cards that are negative, I'm going to tell you that's a negative card, and that's why I shuffle in front of you, so you actually do see cards that actually show up. So I don't know, people have all kinds of ideas, and it's kind of like amazing from all the things you can go to that you go and leave a mean or negative comment. So that's going to change. Look at that. Aquarians getting the world. The World card is, and look at how much she's dancing over here. This is like me jumping on my little rebounder. This is awesome combination, guys. It's karma accomplished and that opening up. So there you go. Maybe my hard work is finally paying off, that I'll be kind of like feeling accomplished and going in the next phase. I was waiting for this card, by the way, to show up before I started this channel, and it's extremely important card to basically tells you, yes, now you're ready, now you can start going on this new task. This is after all a year number 11, and my life path and my also name add to 11, so I have lots of, let's call it, spiritual obligations. This is kind of good. I saw, there it is, finally it resonates with me. I was just saying it doesn't resonate with me. It does, it does. So let's just see here. So, Silly Jen, most of the people don't have idea how energy of tarot works, and that's absolutely true, because, and I don't even blame anybody for that. Like, some people take tarot for an entertainment, and I'm actually realizing how serious this is, right? Because I'm taking this as an art therapy, and it really helps to see it from the outside. I cannot tell you, I can tell you for days and nights and centuries that when I had people on my proverbial couch in my office and trying to talk some sense into them, it got nowhere, nowhere, years. And here, like, the people actually say, well, thank you for the reading, and oh my gosh, I'm seeing something, I'm changing something and following up, and my life is changing. I'm like just out of myself how basically this can actually push in this direction, only if you really want to work, because it's sort of like really something that kind of like ingredient that is missing is you. So that's freedom. Of course, this is really appealing to Aquarius. Look at this kind of like cute little icon with his little naked butt. Isn't this kind of like sappy? Oh my gosh, maybe some Aquarians are going to be traveling. I don't know what kind of weather you guys have where you're from. Hi Oksana, but like, I mean, we in Toronto suddenly have all over, like, I think yesterday was like in the 90s, and today is probably 40, 45, which I love. So finally I'm going to get back into life, because I felt like a prisoner. I hate the heat. So Aquarians, I don't know, amazing week. What can I tell you? Absolutely awesome. And I think that was the monthly reading that kind of like was shedding certain blockages and kind of like moving in a new direction, which kind of like was, I thought, really good reading. If you kind of like understand that life is not sort of like kind of like on and off switch, but sort of like everything that goes in between. So let's just see. North California, so what is that? San Francisco and that kind of area? Boy, that's an expensive area. So thank you, Sally. That's very sweet to say. Hi Rangan, thank you so much. Rangan is like so awesome, giving me all these links on Facebook that I can post for the people, so that's awesome. So who did I miss here? Gemini. Where's my Lati? I miss my Lati. Lati is like so helpful. I just like love her to death, and all my mods. Not that I don't love anybody else, so don't get me wrong. So let's see, Gemini. Ooh, Geminis. You're getting 5 cards. Wow, the Fool and the Moon. That's kind of interesting. What else do I have? I don't even know where to start with this. The Fool and the Moon. It's almost like opposing energy, but it's a very strong energy. But check this out. 5 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and 3 of Wands. Definitely it's a shift to something new. It cannot be more clear than that. Almost looks like, guys, that some of you may have been in a situation where there was a third party. There was lots of jealousy, there was like lots of kind of like struggle, but also you kind of like had that exuberant faith that the situation is going to kind of like resolve to your benefit, and that you'll be able to kind of like go in this completely new direction. And I really think this new direction, that maybe you were in between, well, this is, you see, that's my card of ships, friendships, relationships, right? So it's clearly that It could be a partnership for some of you at work. It could be getting a new job after kind of like going through possibly kind of like ambiguous period. But it also definitely can talk about meeting of the minds, and somebody is dropping that person who was maybe just that third wheel, and kind of like really going in a much better direction, and you're feeling really good about that. It's going to be a really big week for you, so that's kind of like for sure. So well, I was like talking to Lottie yesterday, so I hope she's okay. Usually I know that she had bad internet connection, so it could be just simple as that. This is not connecting. Let me just see if I got any email from her. Nope. No, so Lottie is very reliable, so I'm pretty sure that something is really important happening, and good for her. Healing. You see, the Fool belongs to air, and so is Five of Swords. But then you have the Cups, and then you have the Fire. So healing for you, because you're an air sign, has to happen on the air level. Right? You kind of like talk therapy really works well for air signs in particular, right? But you're kind of like getting something. You're like so feeling new and refreshed and kind of like willing to go in your direction. But there are going to be a few snafus. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's going to be like really happy ending over here, that opening up and getting this new perspective and getting out of this kind of like darkness. It's going to be pretty good. So that much is for air. So let's see, what do I see? You hug your tree this morning. That's so lovely. I kind of like have my orchids. I love orchids, so I'm putting these ice cubes in their kind of like pots every morning, so that way they get their refreshment, and apparently they like it because they're just like blooming like crazy. So let me just get a cup of my coffee. She's definitely hugging trees, blessing. Hi Tori dear, how are you? I don't know, Lottie to miss the show when she's sick. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Something is really happening, so I need to check with her. Hope she's like, we should all send her kind of like really warm thoughts. Excited to catch you live. Oh, there you go, Virgo sun and moon here. Oh my gosh, New Hampshire, that's really nice. Okay, so who do we do next, guys? Voting, open voting. We finished the air, so okay, Brooke. Brooke is like, yeah, Earth. There you go. Earth is going to be Earth. It's good to have a little bit of Earth moderators. So I have everything. I have air. I think Lottie and I are air. Dean is water. Brooke is Earth. So Barbie is also air. She's Libra. So we need fire. We need a little bit of fire. So okay, let me just pre-shuffle this. Okay. So let's see. We are doing Earth. You're already getting a lead reversed and detach. Oh my gosh, this is a really good card to get, and you're getting like two majors. It's really good. Something else. Why is everything reversed over here? I'm getting strengthening bonds but reversed, and move reversed. Okay, Earth, you're not going to be moving. You have moved already. So this is the Emperor, this is the Justice, this is Chariot. So 3 majors and 1 ace, which is almost like half of the major. So there is like big motion forward for you, Earth. It is kind of like really interesting because there is like no Earth energy whatsoever. So that means you are getting out of your comfort zone and kind of like trying to figure it out. Kind of like in which direction. Some of you guys, I really feel you felt kind of like frozen. You felt maybe that you have been doing that same old, And that's why, like, not only you're not straightening bonds, but like you're going completely new direction. You're meeting new people, you're exploring new things, because check her out. She's kind of like moving from this kind of a coldness into kind of like something that she's going to feel is going to bring her peace. This is that karma card. It is like really, really important to understand that certain things are coming in balance. You guys maybe have been going through stuff that at this stage really need to kind of come together. It was like always like feeling that there's like something missing. So something is deserving. You're going to feel that you're deserving, but you're also going to feel that you need to kind of like branch out and go. It might be a little bit unnerving. You might feel, oh my gosh, I'm losing control, nothing is working out. But that very much feeling is going to be a precursor that actually everything is working like the way the divine is planning to do it. And you're supposed to just sort of like free yourself from maybe pulling roots somewhere and kind of like and try to do something fresh. It looks like it's also internal work because the move card is reversed. So it's kind of like really realizing and setting possibly new horizons and where you really want to go. So it's kind of like a planning stage that kind of like really looks. Hi, Dubravka. Dubravka is fire. There you go. So we do have a fire person. So who do I do first? We just had a Virgo. Virgo was getting this first one. So let's make Virgo last. Let's go with Taurus. 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 Hello, Jennifer. Taurus. 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 I don't have any Earth. Well, I have a little bit of Virgo in me, luckily, so I can keep on going with my life, but otherwise would be awful. Wow, Taurus, are you suffering? Taurus, is somebody making you jealous? This is heavy combination, Taurus. And I really think I need to get a new deck. This is kind of, no, this is too many cards. So just get one more. Taurus, 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 Taurus. So now we have like this Three of Swords. We have the Moon. Oh, we have the Judgment. So there is like this, you have like the second card that is Karma card. So Taurus, I really feel that you have been wronged. I do feel that there is like, this to me is like, I mean, third party. This can mean rejection, but you know, sometimes you're rejected and it's kind of like really weird. You can look in a retrospect, but not when you're going through it, because it's kind of painful. And rejection is God's protections, as they really say, right? So this is really talking about like feeling like totally lost, feeling, especially with the Moon, like not really even knowing in which direction to go. And it could be that was you, or it could be the other person, kind of like completely doing wrong decisions. Because when Judgment reverses, like it's kind of like you know the right from wrong, and like you're so confused. It looks like because of Moon you got confused. You may have been doing just the wrong things. It's just like, oh, forget it, and I don't care. And it's kind of like somebody was generating bad karma points, and it's kind of like really time to kind of like figure it out, because the Judgment is really talking about the past lives, the past lovers, the past kind of like catching up with us, and not necessarily just from this life, but just it could be like the different past lives. You're resolving karma. That's why I'm telling people, get karma reading. You totally know where you stand. You wrote that for yourself, and whether you agree with this or not, this is the way it is. And if you just go down that path, it actually helps you resolve it. So something like this, it's kind of like going to be feeling of being stuck. It's not, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not going to be easy. But I also see that that very thing that you are going through is going to push you into kind of like more of a self-understanding. It might be though a little bit painful, I'll have to admit this. The Judgment was reversed, yeah. So when the Judgment reverses, it says, hey, you know what, something here was, look at you, 777. That's an awesome idea. Thanks, Dean. Lovely. So that is the energy of 3. It's a kind of like God energy. So I don't know if you knew that, Dean. Guys, this really tells you when you know what is right, when you know what is wrong, choose the right decision. Like you're getting these two cards that kind of like are really, really, really important over here, right? So that's kind of like really, really important. So the Taurus, I know, has been lulled into someone else's karma, fighting someone else's battles. Poor Taurus. Well, that's true. Sometimes we step into somebody else's karma, and then we just like, I mean, it latches on us. So we have to be careful of that, because there is like something that is like, almost looks like spiraling down. Let me check the card for Taurus. Compassion. You know what? I really think you need to have compassion for yourself. Be very careful about compassion for the other people. But compassion is a very, very high level emotion, because you can still have compassion with someone and you still could have self-respect for yourself. That's kind of like, almost looks like here that we have an element of that compassion that is showing up. So I really think that's a really good solution that is basically being presented. Look, no matter what is happening, and even if you are the one on the receiving end of somebody is rendering, let's call it, justice to you, or you're like now suffering because of some past bad judgment, you know, have compassion for this person, have understanding why they are doing that, and as well give yourself this big hug and just say to yourself, okay, you know, it is what it is. I understand why this is happening, and it's going to get better. And that's kind of like going to get you out of this particular situation. So it's interesting. It's hard to make a choice when you're surrounded with a narcissist. Well, you know what? We are adults. We have the right to be clueless. And of course, there is like stuff that happens as a result of that. So no, Three of Swords reversed is not good. Not good at all. Because it's kind of like, it even feels harder for me. There is like no really, guys, set ways of how somebody reads cards, so that's why I kind of like had my own way that I teach school. And it's not just because it's bad upright that is like not bad reversed. It's not how it really works. So anyway, let's go. Who is next? So that was Taurus. Let's go with Capricorn. Yeah, Oksana, people at work are not your family. I'm sorry to kind of like break this news. You should really not trust people at work, because we are more or less like actors at work. So be very, very careful that way. That's a very standard hole that Aquarians fall into. Everybody's a friend, and then people kind of like really betray you. So protect yourself. Make sure you protect yourself. Okay, let's see. Dubrovka is Aries. So come on, Capricorn. Nothing? No Capricorn? No, Capricorn is not showing up? Capricorn has left the building. Okay, Capricorn, you're having, look at this. Two of Pentacles and the Hermit, both reversed. So there is going to be the essence of some kind of like loneliness. The Hermit, of course, it is, both of them are your element. So you're not definitely feeling your element. You really want to get back to feeling this comfort, to feeling that you can grow. But you're going to feel really the opposite. You're going to feel that you're not growing. You're going to feel kind of like almost you'll be upset and kind of like feel that you're failing yourself over something. You're going to try to find these reasons for all this kind of like situation, for everything that is going on, and not being able to kind of like really put a finger on it. When the Hermit reverses, that really talks about experiencing loneliness, experiencing kind of like this whole sense. You see, kind of it's interesting because the major part is saying, look, you need to kind of like pull yourself in, which kind of like the Hermit would mean. And Hermit is really a good card where you kind of like find your wisdom on the inside. But it almost looks like that you're like craving involvement of the other people. So it's going to be kind of like a week where you really need to reposition yourself. And you need to kind of like, if if you really want this company of the other people, and this really makes you lonely because for some reason you're not getting there, why not to kind of like turn this around and just like spend some time meditating, spend some time kind of like that, like self and spiritual nourishment kind of time. That's going to kind of like turn this around, because you really need to go inside. Everything is like kind of like talking about it for Earth. So just let's see this. And we are seeing healing. Yes, so I see who got this. Somebody else got it, right? So I really think it's really important over here to understand that. So when people need to heal, obviously it's telling you that sometimes people reach out to the other people, but in your case it looks like the healing is, their capacity for healing is in your hands, right, Seth? Really? Really? Do you love Capricorns? Okay, so can we continue now? Or you want to kind of like pick up more cards for Capricorn? Okay, you're messing everything up. Come on, come here. You're messing everything up. You're messing everything up. Yes, I love you. Can we just go with Virgo right now? Okay, in conclusion, Capricorn, this is kind of like really interesting over here. That's what I see. Just guys, do not, if you feel lonely, that means you are not in alignment with your spiritual goals, and that maybe sounds like very high level, etc., and especially to the earth sign. It's kind of like, hello, it's speaking Greek. What basically really needs to happen over here is like try to just give it a try. Do praying, do meditation, go to church, whatever kind of like works for you, that you are connecting. That is going to really give you this big shift. So Sophie's rude, I know. Okay, so there we go. I have stuff jumping for Libra. Whoa, 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords, and 6 of Cups. Libra, are you missing somebody? Are you kind of like, it looks to me that you still kind of like are trying to, you're really thinking about somebody from the past, or think of how things were. You know, the 7 of Swords, the card is like that proverbial thief that is kind of like taking things away. Maybe you feel that life got in the way, and that you're like simply, you're kind of like, this is not a good combination, because that's again that 11. It is like time to kind of like detach. It's clearly telling you about it. It is like something from the past that is like holding you from moving forward. And in a sense, this is a really good card. Oh, sorry, did I say Libra? No, I meant Virgo. So I don't know if there is some kind of like Virgo here with Libra connecting. So it must be something. I definitely, when I was shuffling, I was like thinking about Virgo. So there is like this connection with past. There is like this, to me, this card is always like about feeling excited about being a child, feeling excited about you know, kind of having like closing your eyes and feeling like, oh my gosh, when I was a teenager everything was like so possible. I never had these burdens that I have as an adult, right? So I'm feeling that can kind of like be maybe a little bit of escapism going in this direction, because there are like some issues that Virgos really need to work on, and maybe you're giving credit too much to people who are definitely betraying you. You're kind of like really maybe innocent, where the people coming in your life are not so innocent, and they're here to take advantage of you. So I would kind of like be careful over here. So it's going to be really interesting. So let me just see what else. Let me need to shuffle this a little bit better. So let's just do this. Let's do this. Hi, Star. Authenticity. Yes, guys, you know, it looks like this kind of like comes across like, I mean, a nice person, and somebody who maybe is, it could be you, could be that other person, and there is like just definitely mismatch. There is like somebody who kind of like is there for the right reason, but there is like somebody who isn't. But the problem is like the somebody who is there for the right reason is also not paying attention. And just being there for the right reason is only one part of equation. You also have to watch how other people are treating us and what they are doing in order to kind of like move forward. And I think you're either lacking that ability right now, and you're unwilling, especially guys if you have somebody from your past. And I really mean from your past, like let's say when you were a teenager, when you were like a young person, when there's like somebody who was there who left an impression on you, or you have a new person in your life who sort of like gives you this kind of flavor. Oh boy, I am really behind because it's supposed to be an hour coffee. So who is next? Who is next? So that was Earth. We did air. So guys, voting is open. So we still have water and fire. Fire. Where is my Sally? Sally usually should be around. I don't know if she's around. Is she? I should probably make Sally a moderator to have more fire here. Happy birthday to fellow Librans. Libra rising. Yes, I'm Libra rising. Blah, Libra rising as well. So fire. Okay, fire, water, fire, water, fire. We have 2 fire. Let's see. So let's go with fire. Let's go with fire. Let's go with fire. Oksana joined the party. Okay, fire, fire. What's going to be happening for fire? I still need to do Cancer, Leo and Virgo monthlies, so hopefully over the weekend. So fire, 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 fire. Look at all this Libra rising. Fire, fire, fire. Oops, holy smoke. Okay, let's see. It says clarity of belief reversed. Believe and succeed reversed. Oh my gosh, fire. What the heck is going on here? Challenging times. But then you have the crown chakra, just like the air sign. But look at all these kind of like chakras that are coming out here. Fire is almost like, okay. Then you have rebuild, which by the way is the Tower card. Then you also have throat chakra, which is always upright. Refusing to see. Giving and receiving reversed, and manifest reversed. Fire, not good. Let me just like summarize, not good. I think this challenging times is really describing this well. It's going to be difficulty with communication. There is like something that you have to, everything, almost like all this card is saying refusing, refusing, refusing. There is no clarity. And you might be manifesting something that you don't want to manifest, right? It's clearly telling you the Tower moment is going to be here. It's going to be something that it's kind of like going to shake you up. And it could be something that you will really need to really communicate and kind of like figure things out really, really in a hurry. This is really not good. And it's a whole bunch of cards saying the same thing. And this is kind of like what amuses me, right? Clarity of belief. You need to know what you're standing for. You need to know where you're heading, because look at this. This is kind of like that liftoff toward that kind of like proverbial kind of like light, right? So there is like some kind of like darkness for some kind of like reason. And why is this darkness? Because this giving and receiving, that's the same card that we had there, like the 6 of Cups card, right? Where it kind of like really feels, you know, that maybe you have too much to share. This kind of like to me is, no, this is actually 6 of Pentacles. Maybe you're giving too much, guys. And by giving too much, you're telling to the universe, hey, I have everything to give, and you're not getting anything as a result. How about for a week? Because look at this. Again, the crown chakra. Again, the crown chakra. How about you for a week, you don't give? How about for a week you see who comes to you and does something nice to you and says a nice word, or brings you a chocolate, or just like simply observe other people, because it's so much easier to give than to take. And many people fall into this, especially women, because this is really telling like you need to possibly reshuffle your list, who is on the list, who is not on the list. And this is a very simple approach to really see that. So that's what I would kind of like advise over here. So that is like my Leo moon. So emotions are going to be really, really shaken this particular week. So let's kind of like do that. Let's kind of like figure it out. So let's go with Leo. Leo for the upcoming week. And yes, I need a new Leo. I think these cards want to come out. So we have Seven of Wands. Yeah, this card is not supposed to be here. So, and the Fool. So let's get one more card for you, Leo. This is really good. You see, the Star is the opposite card of Leo. So you're getting this Earth. So getting a fire, pardon me, Earth. You blah, like sip of coffee. Let me wake up. Oh. Okay. You need to stand your ground. It looks like that somebody's going to try to put wool over your face, Leo, and somebody's taking advantage of your trusting nature, really trusting nature. And trusting is really nice, as I was explaining earlier, as long as you have other people who are like trustworthy. If you have people who actually have kind of like underhanded kind of like attitudes, then this is kind of like really always a problem. So then we have here the Star, and so you're like definitely kind of like reaching, you're rebuilding to start. Like for Leo, the impact is not going to be severe. For Leo, it's going to be, no, I know who I am, I know what I'm thinking, and no, you're not going to do that. And just actually getting this backbone and kind of like being able to possibly trust yourself is going to be very cathartic. It's going to kind of like really help and foster healing for Leo. This is definitely about communication. This is definitely about kind of like attending to all your chakras and putting yourself in balance. So this is kind of like really really good for Leo. So let me just see clarifiers, and I got two over here, and one is understanding, another one is communication. Yes, absolutely. And I really don't think this is like too much about the others, because you guys will be really insisting on certain things, that you have achieved. So I think you are sort of like waking up, and this is going to be sort of a knee-jerk reaction where you're going to realize, okay, you know what, I have been manifesting things for me because I did not kind of like, some people don't like challenges, some people don't like what do you call it, conflict, but that usually means that other people just like steamroll you, and this is going to be completely different. It's going to be without violence. It's going to be simply no, you know what, you're not going there. This is like, I know about this, and it's kind of like really in a good way. So yeah, I really think Leos are going to have a very, very productive week. So let me just like see who would be next. Let's go for Sagittarians. Saggies. We have Six of, oh, that's the giving and receiving. It's also reversed. Six of Pentacles. Oh, Saggies. This is like a third party. This is absolutely third party. Somebody could be, you are having a rival over here, Saggies. So this is this card, giving and receiving. It's kind of like absolutely the energy feels disturbed. It kind of like either feels you're giving too much or you're taking too much, right? But this Queen of Pentacles, who is this person? This could be man or a woman. And if it's a woman, then that could be somebody else's wife. If it is a man, it's really talking about somebody who is like really not movable and who is like really standing really, really strong in their own beliefs. Maybe you really want to, maybe that could be you, maybe it could be aspect of you where you actually really want to get in a steady relationship with someone, and this is not happening. What is the clarifier here? What's the clarifier for Saggies? Release. Maybe you need to release somebody. Maybe you need to release some kind of like energies. This can actually almost like looks like what do you call it, the child support. That's kind of like there could be issues with the child support and somebody really needing it and feeling that kind of like they need to go through struggle. This also can mean somebody kind of like having definitely some kind of like domestic issues over here. For you guys, it might be a really difficult week. It might be definitely a week to rebuild. You are definitely refusing to see things, and you need to believe yourself a little bit more, and it's going to be kind of like a week of struggle. You're going to really feel, and Sagittarian ascendants have that, you're going to feel that things on the outside are happening to you without realizing which part of that kind of puzzle you are. It's like, we see like that's what Leos are figuring it out. So when you kind of like get it, because like this is also can mean like getting that firm ground, and once when you get this firm ground, the rest of the stuff sort of like fades away. So it's going to be really interesting. I would love to see what Saggies are going to comment on this, because somebody's saying, oh, Saggies are always getting a sad reading. So what the heck you expect? Like, look what they've got over here, right? So it's maybe asking you to kind of like release the negative energies. It's maybe really asking you to, hey, you know what? Let it go and just close this in the chest and throw the key away, and let's leave bygone be bygone and move forward. It kind of like does look this way. So yeah, sending Sagittarius love, it probably would be a good idea. It would be really, really nice. And who else? Aries. Let's see. Aries, 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 Aries. Okay, Aries. There is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. We have 2 of Pentacles, and then we have Page of Swords. Aries, you feel there is like some kind of like trapping over here, some kind of like energy that feels very trapped, and you don't like to be trapped. This is not kind of like what Aries energy is all about. Aries is all about going forward, because 10 should actually reverse. It could be something on a family level, and it could be that you have like too many things up in the air. It also could mean that somebody's juggling, or that you are getting a whiff that something is like out of ordinary. You're not going to stand by it and take it. This Page of Swords is like definitely demanding answers, demanding to know what the heck is going on. So I really think you'll be actually turning things around, but for a while you might feel stuck. And this is also the energy that is asking for some kind of sacrifices, and it could be family sacrifices that need to be made over here. So that's going to be really interesting. But Page of Swords is definitely maybe a little bit too much in your face, but it's somebody who is definitely asking for explanation. It could be you, or it could be that you'll have a child who will have like a whole bunch of why questions. It's simply telling you, okay, you know what, just answer it. It's kind of like going to be really important. So for you, the challenge is going to be on a family level over here that I see. So let me just see over here. Let's see, clarification. Surrender. Why is the surrender here? Maybe like when things are not going to be going your way, it is like possible the best. I don't think you'll surrender. This is almost the opposite of Page of Swords. Let me just get one more. obedience. Maybe that kind of goes to what I said. It could be some kind of level of sacrifice. Maybe you're going to go with somebody else's ideas, even though you don't think they are the best ideas, but then you're going to be you anyway, and you're going to start asking a whole bunch of questions. That probably is the way that I can interpret this. That's possibly the best possible thing that fit. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. Let's send warm wishes to all fire. I mean, Leo is going to look like having less turbulence, but that's because looks like they're understanding how to stand on 2 feet. But Aries is going to deal with that in a sort of like non-combative way, which is completely cool. And that's kind of like showing me that you're opening that crown chakra. There's like this feeling of that point can be reached that way as well. For Sagittarius, I'm not completely clear what's going to be happening here. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of like go with this. And okay, so let's go with water. Water. So, and I'm going to retire this deck. It's pretty much probably first time I'm using it, but it's just like too wobbly. I have an old deck like this, and maybe I'm going to merge the two instead. So let's see what we get. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing here flirting over here. Dean probably feels like awesome with all the women around, so that's kind of like cool. So let's go with water. How many water people do we have here? Come on, water, speak up now. Speak up now, water. Cancer rising. Okay, water. We have win or lose. Look at this lovely card. Like it's almost like that sword in a stone story. Water. So Dean is Cancer. Water. What is it? Water doesn't want to come out. Embrace reversed, and look at this, is like something going back in. Why is it? Why do I pick up? It's like weird energy of almost like Mercury retrograde energy that I'm picking up for all the signs. This is kind of like totally weird, and I don't know like why this is really happening. So helpless and hopeless and lead. There is a situation, water, of kind of like deciding in which direction to go. Over here, there is like something that is like that was ongoing and has been ongoing for a while. And it could be a matter of survival, or it could be the matter of like the Queen of Lose is generally talking about, of course, 2 different directions, right? And here we have like 2 different directions, right? Then we here have the 2 different directions. So it looks like you need to kind of like figure out like what is that you truly need. This is talking about that inner maturity. This is really saying, do not make decisions that are sort of like obvious. Make decisions after asking yourself, like, why am I going this direction? Why I'm making these decisions, right? So that's kind of like what kind of like really needs to happen. So this is kind of like what kind of like really needs to happen, that you guys are grabbing a bull by its horns. Let me see what Dean says. You know, I didn't like her coming over here doing that. Who is that? Don't need that. I stay home on Saturday night for a reason. I don't know who that was. I didn't read it, sorry. I usually read it later. I kind of like skim through it. So we have lots of Cancers over here. So Cancer is going to, because of Cancer is actually represented with Chariot, and Chariot is really the fastest card, one of the fastest card in this entire deck. So here, like, you might have this Aries energy, you might have like this Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio energy that are coming like really strong over here. So there is like some kind of conclusion. The conclusion is going to happen with actually reaching a decision. And you see here you also have a heart and heart necklace, meaning like the decision is going to be something that you like, but it's also something that is the right thing to do. So this is pretty good. So let's see, who do I go with? Well, let's go with Cancer first, since so many of you are there. Cancers, right? Cancers. Yeah, it was a solar storm a few days ago. It probably made people very depressed. It probably made people sick. It's kind of like usually activating the weakest link in your system, right? So it's kind of like really interesting. I have to look into more kind of like, I don't care that much about astrology, but like, I mean, when it comes to your personal astrology, I don't really care much, because sometimes in the reading I will check when it's kind of like crucial, but for what is happening right now, this kind of like can be important, so I will look into that. So let me see. Cancer. Again, we have like 7 of Wands. Cancer. Thank you, Casey. Enjoy it. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for actually joining in, like being this kind of like so late in the evening for you. Cancer. Okay, Cancer. You have the moon, which is actually in tarot belonging to Pisces, but definitely Cancer is like ruled by the moon, and it is reversed. And look at this, you have like fire and you have a fire. You Cancers are really actually going to feel very energized. So I totally see that there is going to be a decision that you need to make, and the decision is going to be very kind of like a lovely decision. I don't know if you have a black kitty, but black kitties are going to bring lots of luck to you this particular week. So you need to kind of like not only insist on what you already know it is true. It looks like you will, like somebody else will try to drag you into some area, some decision that you really don't feel comfortable with. So you're going to actually really emerge as a leader over here. And in fact, not only will you emerge as a leader, but you're going to be shedding the light on something that maybe others didn't see, or maybe just like present a different perspective. This can actually really, on the relationship level, talk about kind of like seeing things as they really are. The moon is kind of like fading away. So we are kind of like getting into this kind of like situation of clarity. And boy, not only clarity, but you're like really feeling enthusiastic. You're really feeling like that you are like mover and shaker this week. So it's going to be actually pretty fun week for you. So let me just clarify this. Depth. I really think it's going to be more of a height than depth. Look at this snorkeling. But definitely the seven of Wands is connecting to your basically ruler, the Chariot. So maybe, like, I mean, and this kind of like goes back to that's possibly maturity. You are going to really show that when you're making decisions, those decisions are being thought through. You really know why you're making certain kind of like point. And if somebody is trying to kind of like pull a fast one on you, it's so not going to work. I do feel that it's going to be a situation where either there's interference on the outside, or some people from the past are really trying to kind of like take advantage of you, and it's not going to happen. You're going to simply kind of like put an end of it. That's going to be as simple as that. So Cat, can I choose my rising sign Cancer since it's a more positive reading? Yeah, this is a general reading, guys, and how this reading works. And of course, there is like no good answer to that, because I still don't know completely clear answer. But and this is like why it kind of like feels painful when people kind of like tell me, well, this and this kind of like on the general reading. General reading is like simply the energy that I'm just trying to evoke, and who knows what that energy is. It's not only energy of the sign, it's the energy of the people who are cross-watching, it's the energy of the relationship itself, it's a karma that is involving. So it's really hard to see that, given how many people are existing, what that really is. And that's why I'm saying check your ascendant, check your sun sign, check your moon sign, right? Nothing really beats personal reading, really. That's the only time that I have your energy. But with this, you know, try to kind of like put them together and see which kind of like mesh really works for you. So it's not like part of choosing. It's kind of always good to be like forewarned, but also it's always good to be positive and move toward the positive goals. That's for sure. So there you go. So that was Cancer. So let's go with Pisces. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Okay, so what do we have? We have the High Priestess, which is another moon over here, reversed, and the Fool. Okay, Pisces, that's pretty much what I saw in the monthly reading for you. It is kind of like really needed for you to really test other people. You need to watch what they are doing. Like the High Priestess is like somebody who is really just like having her own crystal ball and looking into that, right? She's like observant. She's like somebody who's been through a whole bunch of experiences, and right now she's just like watching. It's almost like, you know, that saying, give people a rope, they're going to hang themselves. So this is kind of like quite the opposite. You're like the one who is like falling into a whole bunch of problems because you're like listening to what people are saying without really realizing that they're not following the same thing through with actions. And that can be a little bit kind of like foolish thing. Like, look at this, you're getting two major arcanas. So you might be setting yourself on a path, and it could be some kind of confusion, because obviously when the words don't match the action, like, you immediately have to stop. This is a huge red flag. Most people just go for this lip service, where basically the actions are really more important. And if you're studying the person, just like study a whole bunch of things. Look at you know, how they are behaving toward their friends. Look at who is the choice of their friends, who they choose as their partners. That's going to give you lots of clues about this person. Yes, I do know that you have this underlying kindness, but it looks like that it's going to feel like the energy, you want to go in some direction, but in your case, somebody might be leading you down the garden path because you're kind of like failing to see something. So be very careful this particular week, Pisces. So let me just see. Pisces. Intention. And High Priestess is about intention. It's about the psychic energy, and you guys have that psychic energy naturally, but not in this week. It's almost like there is like some kind of like blocking off that energy because somebody is coming on so strongly, and you're like so really willing to trust. So what is basically angel advice saying? You know what? Set your intention. And so intention sometimes is really good because it's still, even if somebody kind of like pushes you away from your basically path, it's still eventually going to get you back. So it's kind of like telling you, don't get lost, kind of like leave that breadcrumb trail in the process. And kind of like, so you're not going to betray yourself, being loving and trusting, but at the same time it is telling you, if you get lost, so you know your way back, kind of a thing. So who is the last one? Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Oops. Okay, Scorpio, I guess sugar comes last. So we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. So maybe you felt for a while that you have been scrutinized or that you didn't belong into something, but that's going to change. You are going to kind of like start getting some kind of like new understanding of yourself. And look at all these pentacles. Something might be happening on basically home level or work. You have like this Eight of Pentacles, then you have the King of Swords, which kind of can be a little bit of Judge energy. It's a very much like, I mean, corresponding to what you really need to figure out in your own head. Maybe things were just getting too hard. Like, I mean, Scorpios, this is talking about juggling. It can be juggling on many levels. Maybe somebody was juggling you, and hence kind of like rendering you. It almost looks like somebody was like trying to work on obstacles and the other person wasn't. So it kind of like had pretty much like that helpless and hopeless energy. Which path do I take? I actually really see this general part in your reading the most, because you also have here this like energy that you're like almost like retracting. You're saying no more, this is not going to happen. Maybe you're rendering some kind of like decision, or there's like something happening over here that feels maybe even harsh. So I guess if you catch somebody, let's say, cheating or lying, or you're going to say, like, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm not feeling comfortable, because it kind of like feel maybe you're walking this kind of like tightrope, like in some kind of like situation or with someone, and hence you got kind of got closed in. Look at him, he kind of like looks like that, what they call it, old geezer, and holding his pentacle. It's like me. But this is really telling you this is exactly the wrong direction to go, because you know, if somebody can take your power away, then they really win. And I think you're going to really realize this in time, because look at this, like you have these 2 8s. You're like so fully coming into kind of like feeling comfort. And you see, that's the Embrace card, is like also the card where there are all fixed signs really buried. And here you're getting actually help of Aquarian and Libran energy in this particular time period, which is like really telling me that you will actually feel it's going to be healing that is going to take place this week. But it's also like not just like healing like you have been broken, but feeling of a new hope and new enthusiasm and new understanding of, you know, being able to walk on water. So maybe there was a burden that you had for a while that was kind of like really hard to shed. It could be that was some issues with the family or issues at work. This juggling can also mean that there's simply too many things on your plate, and it could be lots of kind of like financial kind of like issues happening and coming in a way. But it could be also that people would be kind of like trying to sidetrack you in all directions, and like you're literally like putting an end to it, and you're saying, you know what, I'm putting myself first here. It's kind of like really needed. So it might be for some of you kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, just kind of like to close in and build the walls, but it's not going to last very much, because you're realizing that, you know, it's somebody or something is not worth it. So that's kind of like really clear over here. Well, Scorpios always have obstacles, because Scorpios are Scorpios. It's just like actually all 4 fixed signs: Aquarians, Scorpions, Tauruses, and who did I forget? Leos. These 4 signs will always actually have obstacles, because the fixed signs are supposed to keep things fixed, right? And things are never fixed, so hence you always kind of like have to work on it. But that's actually the function of the sign, kind of like creating the systems and creating the things. And Scorpios almost like thrive on it. The whole this regeneration kind of like essence of Scorpio, it's just like whenever something like this happens, it's like, just bring it on, just give it to me. It's almost like, hey, I love it kind of a thing. So Scorpio really finds this, like sheds the skin and finds something new. It's kind of like really good, that rebound effect that can happen over there. So let me just see. Scorpios, you're getting clarity. Yes, clarity. And that's why you're going to realize that maybe initial knee-jerk reaction is not worth it, that you really have your own star where you need to go and where you need to head, and everything else is like really unimportant. So you're really putting you, yourself, and your dearest kind of like to place. You might have Aquarius energy. This is kind of like very much like we are in a year number 11. That is really entire year of this Aquarian energy. So pay attention to your friends, reach out to your friends, and kind of like you're going in a new, you actually turning this embrace. You are able to turn these things around and kind of like leave past in the past and realize that you are not what past makes you. You are what you make you. And that's kind of like going to be a very positive thing. So Is anybody kind of like winning today, Brooke? Before I let go of everybody, who did you decide? Thank you guys for all liking it, and we are waiting for Brooke to tell us about the winner, and then the winner has to leave their email so I know that this is the person who basically is going to apply. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here, and I would love to see who is going to be the winner. Oh, you did. Sorry, can you please tell me? I didn't see it. Hey, Helen Roos. Okay, so did she leave an email? Can you, Brooke, email it to me so that way I see it? And please, if you can, Helen Roos, send me a form here and put a contest. And just choose contest. Alright, so thank you, congratulations to the winner. Thank you very much, Brooke, for your help. I really appreciate this. So hopefully we have a great week ahead. I really think it's not going to be challenging, but it's going to be kind of like really progressive, I would say. So let's hope for the best. I'm sending everybody light, and I'm going to put the music now for a few more minutes, and I will see you on live next week. Love you, everybody. All the best. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next week. Love you.